words of inspiration and love. Oh, how we live and what we say, it's stamping up and it's our way.
Hi everyone, it's Pauline from Stamp with Pauline, and in this series I have been using the Kintsugi Suite. The Kintsugi Suite is in the annual catalogue, and I have been having some great fun playing with this card, this suite, and this is the card that I have created. I've used the brushed the brushed gold foil sheets with the designer series paper and the dies, and I have paired this with the Simply Said birthday wishes stamp set. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started on how to make this card. Just got it here on my iPad so you can see this. It is the Suite collection. It's on page 58, 59 and 60 of the current catalogue, and I'm going to actually be making a card here for you. I've got cloud cover cardstock. Just a tip, put adhesive sheeting on the back of these little intricate dies, because that will help with gluing. So I've run that through twice, each individual piece. I've also got, I'm going to stamp my sentiment on here in Versamark. So I'll go through the rest of the supplies. I've got the base cover of cloud cover. So base card, you know what I mean. I've got the base card is cloud cover. I've got the brushed gold foil sheets. I have a piece of the designer series paper. I've gone ahead and cut out a vase and a bowl for another card, so that will just save on a bit of the gold foil as sheet as well. I've got a bit of the gold twine. I've got my pieces already cut out. I've got the punch, which is to the point. I've got the birthday wishes from the stamp set Simply Said, and I'm going to actually emboss that onto a piece of the cloud cover cardstock. So stamp that down using the Versamark. Then what I'm going to do is carefully sprinkle on some gold embossing powder. And I didn't use the embossing buddy, which I should have, because now I have some dags hanging on. So just going to give that a bit of a blow and get those off. Now I'm going to heat set that with my heat gun, and then I'm going to punch it out. So what I'm doing is I'm just bringing the punch in. I don't want it as big there, so I'm just going to do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go fishing. Let me just grab some scrap cardstock. And what you do is you pop down a little bit of adhesive onto this end, and what I want to do is I need to turn it around the other way. So pop a bit of adhesive on here, pop my sentiment here, and then I'm going to fish that through there, line it up so it all makes sense. Just turn that ever so slightly. Give that a push through, and then I've been able to actually cull that punch so it's not as wide. So so all I need to do now is just peel away that extra cardstock, and then grab hold of some dimensionals, and I'm going to bring over my adhesive, and we're going to start gluing all of this down. I'm actually going to be using, instead of the Tombow, I want to actually just use some tear and tape for this, because I want to make sure it's nice and secure and doesn't slip anywhere. So I am going to choose to glue the paper down on here. Okay, so just if that doesn't come up from the side, just warm it up a little bit so it just sticks down on there. Alright, so I have my designer series paper, and now I'm going to just glue that onto the gold, and then I'm going to glue that down. Make sure my card is up the right way. Pop that there. Grab 2 dimensionals on either side of my sentiment, and then I'm going to position that here. And now what I'm going to do is actually take my adhesive and my twine, and I'm going to lay that all down here to underneath this. So I'm laying all of these down just to get an idea of where I want them to go. And like I said, adhesive sheeting would be ideal for this rather than trying to, I'm getting my Tombow and I'm just sort of brushing it over the pieces, and I'm just going to slide that in, tuck that under there. And then I'm going to do the same with the other piece, just add a little bit of adhesive and just give it that, I give it like a little sweeping sort of motion across there, but okay. And then that goes in under there. And then I'm going to take, let me just lift that up. All right. Then I'm going to take these 2, and I think I'm just going to put a little bit on the edge of these little branches here, just a little tad bit there. And then I'm going to tuck that in and secure that. And then do the same with the other piece. Okay, so just give that a second to dry. And then we have our other 2 pieces here, some more of the little flower flourish. So just sweep that glue. And it's always helpful to have a baby wipe handy in case it you start to stick to all of your pieces. Like I said, that's probably another reason to have the adhesive sheeting on these little intricate bits. So we're just going to tuck that there. And then these 2 pieces. Okay. The adhesive sheeting also does help get all those little bits out as well. So that's kind of another advantage to using that. Okay, where do I want this one to go? I think I might just position him here, just to have those fractures. And then I'm going to take my mini glue dots and my gold twine, and I'm just going to ravel that around just to sort of tuck that together like so. And then I'm going to take some mini glue dots. Okay, so now I've got all that twine secured. I'm going to just take one of the flowers from the sheet of DSP that you get. So this is the designer series paper in the suite. Of course, you can buy everything individually, but this is the designer series paper. I've now fussy cut out one of the flowers, and I'm actually just going to position that flower just over that twine, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue just to there, just to secure my flower. And then we need some of the bling. These are the flower accents, and just going to take a couple of these. There's two different sizes. Oops. There we go, one. And that is the card. They're really stunning little gems, actually. Really like those. So that is the card. I might actually just pop a little bit of adhesive just here. Just want to secure that part of the stem just down onto there for a sec. And that is one of the cards that I have now created. So see how you go. Hope you enjoy that. It's great just to sit and have a play and make some fun cards. So that is the card. All right, I will talk to you soon. Bye.
What we love, what we do, makes a difference in me and you. All these years of inspiration and love.